All right. Good morning, everybody. I should say good afternoon. This is the Mitty Man coming at you here. Matter of fact, the old Mitty Man is trying to kill two birds with one stone here this today. We're doing our podcast as alongside this video here. We are doing some testing, y'all. That's what we're trying to do. But at any rate, we just give God the praise and honor and all the glory. And we thank you for each and every one of you coming back from that podcast. I'm letting all of you know that Mitty Man is doing a podcast now. I've got a podcast called The Inspirational Connection. That's the name of the podcast. And today I want to talk about something. Like I said, we're giving a shout out to all the cyber friends, especially my brother David Maxwell, for turning me on to the Anchor platform for this podcast. What I want to talk about today, just briefly, and I'm not to offend anyone. God knows we're never trying to offend or hurt anyone's feelings, but we got to deal with this here. We got to deal with it. God knows that we try to accommodate. We try to accommodate to do what we need to do. Most of us do, and I feel that everybody got their own little pet peeve and everything. But today I'm going to deal with a subject matter called a choir director's nightmare. A choir director's nightmare. Now I know I said this is inspirational connection, and really, I hopefully I will give some information that will be inspirational before I'm done. But I got to deal with the situation at hand. I got to deal with the situation at hand. If talking to all of those music directors out there, choir directors or whatnot, that have this here issue, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only one, that have the problem with different ones, that people have no sense of timing and sings totally off key. But yet and still, these people are the ones that want to lead, or quote unquote, and do solos in the choir. Oh my God, y'all! Wait a minute. We got to do something about this thing. I mean, there's that. I understand we don't want to hurt people feeling everything, and we try to accommodate. But people, let me tell you something. There's got to be a fine line. We got to draw the line somewhere. Us musicians, us choir directors, all of us, we got to draw the line somewhere. Some people feeling might be hurt, but where do we draw the line? Okay, if Mitty Man cannot sing on time, Mitty Man can't lead a song. If Mitty Man can't stay on pitch, Mitty Man can't lead a song. Come on, y'all. When are we gonna go back to the grassroots of everything? When are we gonna just do? There'll come a time when you just have to put your foot down and just say, "Hey, look, this is not gonna happen." I mean, really. That's what I'm saying. This is not gonna happen. So I'm just saying, as one musician and choir director, to all the rest of you musicians that might be going through this same problem. I told y'all that this is what my podcast is going to be about, trying to give people inspiration to get up on the good foot, that old James Brown used to say. When are we going to go back to the grassroots? When are we going to go back to the basics? In other words, there used to be a time, I can remember back in the early 70s, and I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and my great-grandma, her daughter, lived there for a lot of years, lived there, and we would go up and visit in the summertime. And I remember in the early 70s, about 71, I believe it was, and I went to a choir rehearsal with like I said, with my great-grandma's daughter. I went to a choir rehearsal with her up there, one of the churches up there. I forget the name of the church now, but she was in the choir. And I saw the way that they did things in their choir, and there was no there was no open door policy. In other words, to that choir. In other words, you just didn't join the choir. You just didn't go into somebody. You just didn't come to the church, join the church, then all of a sudden you said, "I want to be in the choir," and you got in the choir. No, it didn't happen like that. That was auditions. That were auditions. And if you didn't quite cut the rug, then your name wasn't put on the roster. People, I hate to, God knows I hate to be the one to say this here, but I got to tell the truth. This is a policy that I feel should be put back into place if it's not already in your church or whatever your organization might be. If you're in charge of a glee club or whatever it is, where it involves singing or talent, we ought to go back to auditioning and then have a roster, the one that make the team. Because everybody just can look. I wish that we all could just sing like Whitney Houston and CC Winans. I wish we all could sing like Patti LaBelle, but guess what, y'all? We can't. We all of us. There are some people just what everybody just wasn't put here to sing. There are other things that we can do, and I told all of you. I look at my own self. Now I'm in it, man. I play a little keyboard. And I can do a little bit of, I can hold a tune here and yonder. I can carry one in a bucket, at least. I don't even consider my own self no songster. But at least I can carry a tune in a bucket. And then another thing, you don't see me always jumping up trying to lead every song that comes out. You don't see me do that because I know that I'm not a songster. I would rather for the songs to be given to people that really know how to sing and really can sing. I don't consider myself a singer. I don't. But where do we draw the line? And I guess I'm going to have to play the devil's advocate, I reckon, because I'm going to say we need to bring back auditioning to the church. Because we got people that's in the choir that have no business in the choir. I mean, I can't help it. Y'all, please. I don't mean any harm, but I got to tell the truth. That if you don't have the talent, Minuteman, you ain't got the talent to sing Luther Vandross songs. You don't need to be trying that. But most of the time, the people that with the worst timing and the worst intonation, those are the ones that want to lead and want to do solos. Why not? They ought to be just happy, best being a part of the choir. But now you want to, now you got to go and bend and bite the bullet. In other words, where we musicians and choir directors, where are we going to draw the line? There's a line that we're going to have to draw. Because there ain't no sense in just letting people go up there and embarrass themselves and embarrass the whole choir and let them get up there and just make a complete mess out of a song during a worship service, calling yourself giving that to God. No, that ain't what I read in the Bible. When David and Solomon them were getting them worshipers together, they got the best of the best. And they spent a king ransom on that service. Y'all, no. God will appreciate whatever we try to give him with in a sincere heart. And I ain't got nothing against that. But I believe when it comes to perfected praise, if you cannot do a thing, you should not be up in the spotlight. Now, I'm just a firm believer in that. And that being said, I just say to our choir directors and all our musicians out there, the ones of us that got the position in the church for the worship service, there comes a time we just going to have to draw the line and say, look, honey, brother, you cannot do this. We're not going to do this here. Not right now. Not right now. We're not going to do that because it's better to do it that way. And like I say, than to embarrass the whole choir and embarrass the whole church service. The worship experience should be a experience. It should be a joyful occasion. It's a joyful noise, not just a racket. So that's what I'm saying. And, I hope, God knows, I hope I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. And I'm not trying to call anybody or no talent. But if we do not have the gifts for these certain things, I feel that we should not even be in the position. And I'm gonna say right now to all our choir directors on this here part of video and blog podcast, what we need to do as choir directors and musicians that are in charge, we need to go back to having auditions. Really, I used to do that. We need to have auditions for the choir. And those that cut the rug, they will get. Those are the one with the talent and with the gifts. Those are the ones need to be in the position, and that's it. I mean, that's just point blank. It ain't no other way. It ain't no other way to put it than just point blank. That it. If you don't have the talent and the gift, you should not be. In other words, even if the choir got you, if you out of tune, you flat, and you don't have no sense of timing, if the choir just got you in the choir, if you a member, you should be satisfied with that, but not to get up and talk about you want to lead and stuff. You cannot do it. Hey, let me put it this way: a lot of us, maybe not, they may not be like you and I. That's going to admit. I'll admit, Minuteman and other songsters. Most people don't want to admit. They don't want to admit their shortcomings. And I'm just saying, it's not that you have to think little of yourself. I'm not saying think little of yourself, but be realistic, people. Come on. Now, if you cannot sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, what are you gonna do with Here and Now? What you gonna do with Luther Vandross's song Here and Now? And you can't even sing Mary Had a Little Lamb in tune and on time. Just be real, y'all. Be real. Be real now. And then we got people, they want to sing these here contemporary gospel songs, want to try to sing these songs from like Leandria Johnson and all those singers. They really can. They can really punch out and sing. You cannot do that. You don't have the talent to do that. And that's the first thing that we want to go and grab is one of Leandria Johnson songs or Dottie Peoples songs. You don't have the gift. People, come on, let's get real. Now, I may get criticized, but God knows, y'all know I'm telling the truth. And I'm just brave enough to say it. I don't mind getting on this camera and getting on this podcast and saying, we as musicians and choir directors, we need to go back to employing the good old-fashioned audition, and put up a roster. Those that make the team be put on the roster. Those that, if your name don't show up, then you ain't got to show up for choir practice. That'll let you know something. Y'all, this has got to be done. And if we're going to get perfected praise back into the worship service, we want perfected praise. Perfected. We want it to be the best we can be. And you can't have perfection praise if Minuteman up there and he flattered that a biscuit trying to sing and lead the worship service. No. And his time is just as off as a 5-cylinder engine. Come on, y'all. Come on now. This is Minuteman. We don't mean no harm, but we got to tell you the truth. Till the next video, next Bible study, next podcast, whichever comes first. This is Minuteman saying peace and good day.